This video was brought to you by Skillshare. Today, Israel moves closer to all-out war with Hezbollah, Vladimir Putin visits North Korea, and Nvidia becomes the world's most valuable company. From TLDR News, this is your daily briefing for Wednesday the 19th of June, 2024. Israeli Foreign Minister Israel Katz warned on Tuesday that Israel was very close to deciding on all-out war with the Lebanon-based militant group Hezbollah, vowing that in such a war, Hezbollah will be destroyed and Lebanon will be severely hit. For months since October 7th, Hezbollah and Israel have been trading rocket fire across the Israeli-Lebanon border, in parallel to the war in Gaza. But tensions have soared further in recent weeks, with an Israeli strike last week killing another senior Hezbollah commander, prompting the group to fire its largest volley of rockets and drones at Israel so far. And then on Tuesday, Hezbollah published a near 10-minute video of drone surveillance footage of sites in Israel, including Israel's northern port city of Haifa. It was after this that the Israeli foreign minister publicly declared that a decision on an all-out war was coming soon, and that Israel will restore security to the residents of the north. Later on, the Israeli military then said operational plans for an offensive in Lebanon were approved and validated, and decisions were taken on the continuation of increasing the readiness of troops in the field. At the same time, the United States is continuing its diplomatic push to prevent an escalation on Lebanon's southern frontier with Israel. In fact, the US dispatched a special envoy to the Lebanese capital of Beirut on Tuesday, where he held meetings with the country's acting prime minister and the head of the Lebanese army. The US are also in direct communication with Hezbollah via the Speaker of the Lebanese parliament, who leads the Hezbollah-allied Amal movement. And on Monday, he was also in Israel meeting top officials, including Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, Defense Minister Yoav Gallant, and President Isaac Herzog. The US envoy said that the region was going through dangerous times and critical moments, adding that we are working together to try and find a way to reach peace where we prevent further escalation. Now, the US is reportedly trying to strike a deal between Israel and Hezbollah that would see the militant group withdraw from the border area, though Hezbollah insists that it will continue its fight with Israel until there's a ceasefire in the Gaza Strip. There's more on the way, but be sure to subscribe and ring the bell for more daily briefing tomorrow. Plus, if you want to support the channel like Roman Rajab, then you can consider joining the new TLDR membership program for just $1.99. Russian President Vladimir Putin has arrived in North Korea for summit talks with Kim Jong-un, his first trip to the capital of Pyongyang in 24 years. The two countries are seeking closer relations as they aim to reduce trade and economic partnerships with the West, with Kim saying that North Korea-Russia relations are entering a period of new high prosperity. Ahead of his trip, Putin issued a presidential order saying that Moscow was looking to sign a comprehensive strategic partnership treaty with North Korea. He also promised to, quote, develop alternative trade and mutual settlement mechanisms not connected by the West, and to build an equal and invisible security architecture in Eurasia. According to North Korean state media, the Russian-North Korea partnership is an engine for accelerating the building of a new multipolar world. Now, Putin's visit follows months of ramped-up diplomacy, with Russia and North Korea having exchanged 18 senior government, parliamentary, and other delegations so far this year, the highest ever number of diplomatic visits, according to the Ministry of Unification in Seoul. And Russia has also used its warming relations with North Korea to upset the US, while North Korea has won the promises of economic support from Russia. And today, the two leaders' agendas involves a gala concert, state reception, honor guards, document signings, and a statement to the media. In other news, Hungary has unveiled a familiar slogan for its upcoming 6-month presidency of the Council of the European Union. The slogan, Make Europe Great Again, obviously draws inspiration from the Make America Great Again line used by former US President Donald Trump, who has regularly praised Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orban and even met with him back in March. Alongside Hungary's slogan for its council presidency is a logo inspired by the Rubik's Cube, which was invented by a Hungarian and which Hungary's EU Affairs Minister says is the essence of Hungarian genius. The presidency of the European Council is a 6-month position that rotates between EU states. The holder of the position, which is a national government rather than an individual, is responsible for chairing meetings of the council, determining its agenda, and facilitating dialogue. Now, Hungary has set out 7 priorities for its 6-month presidency, which begins in July, including stemming illegal migration, a farmer-oriented agricultural policy, addressing demographic challenges, and boosting European competitiveness. Given Viktor Orban's clashes with the European Union over things like breaches of the rule of law and his holding up of aid for Ukraine, some EU member states have expressed concerns that Hungary's 6-month presidency could see Orban's government use its position to advantage its own interests while creating an impasse for other things like Ukraine accession talks. Following months of explosive share growth driven by demand for its chips and an AI boom, Nvidia has become the world's most valuable company, surpassing both Microsoft and Apple. Yesterday, the company's shares climbed by 3.5% to $135.58, bringing its market capitalization to $3.335 trillion. Nvidia has enjoyed enormous success recently. In less than 2 years, it's been transformed from a $300 billion company grappling with a chip glut, exacerbated by a cryptocurrency bust, into one of the most powerful tech companies in the world. After falling by over 60% in the year to November 2022, Nvidia's stock has since enjoyed a meteoric and apparently unstoppable rise. By mid-2023, its market cap had more than doubled to $1 trillion, surpassing Meta and Tesla. Then, on February 21st, Nvidia's blockbuster earnings report, where the company announced a 265% jump in revenues, pushed the company's value above $2 trillion, making Nvidia the 3rd most valuable listed company. And this alone represented a single-day gain of $277 billion, the largest in Wall Street history. And in just over a month, Nvidia has now been able to surpass both Microsoft and Apple, passing the 2 tech giants that have long jostled for pole position on the US stock market. Most likely, its new generation of Blackwell chips and the company's software ecosystem CUDA helped solidify this dominance. And while competitors AMD and Intel have introduced AI chips, they haven't significantly impacted Nvidia's market share, making Nvidia the most popular option on the market. And finally, for the first time ever, astronomers have observed a supermassive black hole awakening in a galaxy in the Virgo constellation, 360 million light-years from Earth. The black hole has consumed everything within its reach, and scientists observing it have described the event as unprecedented. Astronomers are now analyzing telescope data to determine if the black hole's activity is temporary or ongoing. Most galaxies, including the Milky Way, have black holes at their core, and the study even suggests that the black hole at the core of our very own Milky Way could become active, but for now it does remain dormant. A week or so ago, we announced that we're working on a physical magazine which dives deep into the upcoming UK general election, but it turns out that designing a magazine isn't all that easy. So I headed to Skillshare to take a look through some of their design courses, including the incredibly helpful course, How to Design a Magazine and Learn InDesign, which helped me to, do both things. This means that unlike when I tried to learn InDesign for another never-released project a few years ago, I was guided through the process quickly and efficiently. And this time, the project will actually see the light of day, thanks to Skillshare's incredibly easy-to-follow guides. It's not just that either. You likely already know that Skillshare is the largest online learning community for creatives, with thousands of classes led by industry experts across film, illustration, design, freelance, and more. But Skillshare can also help take your career or side hustle to the next level, with hundreds of career-focused classes too. That's courses on everything from how to start a business to maximizing your workflow, or even how to grow in e-commerce, another course that I used when building the website that sells the magazine. And the best news is that the first 500 people to use the link in the description will receive a 1-month free trial of Skillshare. So get started today.